Carl is the top dog in this prison. He not only has the respect of all the black gangs, even the guards have to give him some deference. And today is the day he gets out. His fellow inmates come up one by one to high-five him and celebrate. Not only that, people in the cells all peek out when they hear Carl is leaving, shouting his name loudly. Opening the prison gates, signaling that Carl's path to greatness officially begins. A presidential car pulls up in front of the Gallagher house. Carl steps out. Looking at the familiar house before him, he feels a flood of emotions. He walks through the door. The first person to greet him is his older sister, Fiona. She can hardly believe it. Her little brother is out so quickly. She thought it would take months. Although Carl says he got early release for good behavior, in reality, it was the boss Gettle working behind the scenes for him. Fiona watches Carl's changes, and the changes make her uneasy. Carl asks if he can bring a young friend to stay for a while. Instantly, Fiona becomes cautious. She assumes Carl is bringing a gang member, until Carl explains it is a kid his age. Only then does Fiona breathe a sigh of relief. That evening, the Gallagher family gathers together, throwing a welcome back party for Carl. They prepared a celebration cake and scrambled eggs symbolizing rebirth. But Carl isn't very interested. After blowing out the candles and eating a couple bites of eggs, he hears a knock on the door. The visitor is Nick, Carl's young friend. After a brief introduction to everyone, Carl says he wants to go visit some brothers on the street with Nick and leaves without looking back. When Carl returns home, Fiona wants to talk to him, but Carl speaks first. He tells her Nick's story. Since he was 9, he has been locked up in juvenile detention. The only reason he can leave now is because his 18th birthday is approaching. Nick was planning to sleep on the streets, but Carl insisted he come stay at his place. Carl is the person Nick trusts most in the world. After spending time in prison, Carl has a clearer understanding of himself. He decides to sell weapons. Early the next morning, Carl and Nick go out to collect protection money. Carl negotiates with the store owners. Nick helps out outside. With their teamwork, the owners hand over the money. Next, they go to the school gates, finding a volunteer with a broken leg to help carry backpacks into the school. Carl even gives the volunteer the money they just collected because the volunteer has a prosthetic. Even if the security alarm goes off, the guards let him through. Soon, long lines form in the school bathrooms. Arms dealer Carl makes his official debut. Obviously, Carl doesn't do business with others casually. He must make sure he never gets caught and sent back to prison because the business was so successful. Carl's reputation grows fast until one day, the principal hears about it and quickly calls Carl to the office. Share stories about various weapons cases. At first, Carl thinks selling weapons has been exposed and he will get expelled. But to his surprise, the principal is also here to buy weapons. When the principal makes his request, Carl doesn't agree immediately. Instead, he sets a condition.